Welcome everybody to episode 18 of the Sib Riv podcast. I guess we can call this season 2 after our break. We are making our triumphant return to the podcast world after about a month off. And I am joined here by my amazing co-hosts, Dave, my big brother, and my little sister, Michelle.
Hey.
Hey.
So, we got some things to talk about today because we really haven't spoke. I mean, me and Michelle have seen each other a couple times. Yeah. David, I haven't really talked to you at all since our break. A few messages on Messenger, but we've had some vacations. We've had some trips. We've had some concerts. We got a lot to catch up on today. So it's the first time the three of us have kind of gotten together, and you are all coming together with us today. So I guess I'll throw it to Michelle since you want to do the catch-up. Michelle, any big topics you wanted to discuss with us today?
Well, I just figured we could kind of go through some, like celebrity stuff, some, just stuff that had happened through July that we maybe would have talked about at the top of some shows that we can talk about now. So, we can just do the big obvious one right away, the Coldplay thing. Did you guys see the Coldplay?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to hear thoughts from you guys on this.
Should we,
because we haven't talked about this.
Just in case we haven't had any viewers that haven't heard about Coldplay, the Coldplay Scandal. Here's a little clip from Fox 9.
In Boston, in Massachusetts.
It happened right here in Boston at Gillette Stadium.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? What? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
It happened during a Coldplay concert in Massachusetts. So internet sleuth says that he quickly identified the man as Andy Byron, a married CEO of a billion-dollar software development firm called Astronomer. Now, that is not his wife. That woman is the company's human resources chief. She's head of HR.
Yeah, so...
Oh, boy.
Beautiful moment at a Coldplay concert. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Coldplay concert.
No,
I went to one. So I went to one back in like 2004. And back then they were just kind of our standard, generic kind of vanilla rock band. Over the years, their music has evolved and their concert experience has evolved over the years as well. And now, as their music has evolved into more of, they still have like rock tracks, but they have a lot like kind of dancier techno tracks now.
Yeah, they have like
their
a whole laser show, right?
Their whole show now is like a really incredible experience for people that go. Because I was like looking at some of the Facebook comments when this happened, and people were like, Coldplay is like an internationally famous band. Yeah, they're from England. They're from the UK.
Yeah.
I
would go see because I've heard nothing but good things about their show.
It's pretty incredible the way it is now. So I would love to go. But so they were doing the kiss cam around the stadium, and all of a sudden these two are just sitting there, and so I'm very curious. It was let's see. I'm gonna have another.
It was like in the middle of July. Dave, did you hear about it? I think you were traveling at the time. I don't even know if you were in the States.
No, it happened after I came back.
Oh, okay.
And it was a truly viral moment because Hawaii was texting me about it. She had some choice words for the CEO.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, in the aftermath, there's been some rumors. I pulled up Snopes because I was curious if he's really trying. I've seen a lot of stories on social media about the guy's claiming he's going to sue Coldplay, which I don't know. He wouldn't have a case. Like, they would have to know that he was having an affair and have to have purposely chosen him and her to do it, which is just completely obnoxious. But Snopes couldn't really determine whether it's true or false, whether he's actually trying to sue them or whether papers have been filed, because there's no confirmation on that. But, I mean, completely ridiculous if he really is trying to sue to try to divert attention from himself and his own wrongdoing.
Yeah,
I was really curious what your thoughts were, Michelle, as the HR person in the group here. What is your thoughts on this? Since he was having an affair with his HR manager.
I think my thoughts are HR people, like HR directors like her, kind of give us a little bit of a bad name, I feel like. Like if they were going to start a relationship, then one of them should have I mean, obviously this is an affair. She shouldn't be doing this. But if this was like a real relationship and they really did have legit feelings and wanted to be a known couple, one of them needed to make a decision to leave and find another job. I mean, that's the adult thing to do. It's probably not ideal for them if this is the field they want to be in. But yeah, I couldn't. It doesn't surprise me. It happens a lot, I feel like. This just proves why people don't trust HR reps. You know what I mean? Like how many complaints did she maybe take from the CEO, and whether she defended him rightfully or not, now it doesn't matter because of this situation. So
Yeah, I mean, well, whenever someone in an upper position is having any sort of affair with someone below them, whether he's married or not, could cause potential issues. I mean, full disclosure, I met my wife. She was working for me when I was a restaurant manager, but she left. Like she ended up, after once we knew we were going to be serious, she ended up leaving and going and get another job. Like, so just because we didn't want that conflict of interest type issue. So
yeah, and if you report it to HR, then you just get moved to a different department, or usually you just have to disclose it to HR, and depending on people, the company's policy, there's something in every policy for these situations because they happen. You meet people, you click, and it happens. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So you just have to disclose it and go about it the right way. But I really want to know the girl that was next to them that I think was with them. The girl that's like smiling through the whole thing. I want to know her story because I feel like she knows a lot more. It was the girl.
It seems like there was more people from their company in that box, so it was clearly not a secret to everybody in the company.
No.
Which, if I'm his wife, and her husband, I am absolutely PO'd at them.
I have heard two different things. I've heard that she is married, and I've heard that they are divorced. Does anyone know what the story
Michelle
is
was
on
telling
her?
me, Caitlin was telling me something about her husband.
I've heard two reports.
He was like a founder of something huge too. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah.
Well, Dave, what are your thoughts? You're awfully quiet.
Yeah, you're the family therapist here, so
Yeah. Well, and this is not meant to be me condoning any sort of boundary crossing when you're in a relationship, but I have to wonder at just the sheer stupidity of these people, because if you're going to step out on your spouse, maybe don't do it in a highly public place like a concert where there's stuff like kiss cams and random people being thrown on the Jumbotron. Like, what were they thinking? Oh, right. They weren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't have any sympathy whatsoever. I mean, one, they're cheating, which is wrong, right?
Yeah.
So that's, but just aside from that, it's just so monumentally like stupid. And then for this guy to turn around and be like, well, I'm going to sue. Like, well, who's the dumbass that decided to go canoodle with somebody that wasn't his wife in a highly public setting? Like, what did you think was going to happen?
I have a question. Do you guys think if they hadn't reacted that way that we would be talking about it right now? Like if you think they had just stayed,
that's the thing. Their reaction to it.
Took the risk.
He should have pretended he was giving her the Heimlich maneuver or something. The camera, and then there's no like brouhaha.
He didn't
There's
even
no
have to do that. Nobody would have known who the guy was. Nobody would have thought twice about it if they had just kept on smiling and just went along with it. No one would have thought twice about it. The person that posted it never would have posted it. It was the whole reaction to them being on the kiss cam, them realizing it and freaking out. That was what caused the whole thing. Like, so it's their fault for cheating, and then it's their fault for their reaction that drew attention to it.
Yeah, the only people that would have known anything is obviously
were the people that already knew. The people that already knew about it.
Like any friends or family members of either of those couples that happened to be at that show, maybe would have seen that on the Jumbotron and been like, that's interesting. So it could still have blown up their lives, but it wouldn't have been so viral, I feel like, if they had just like froze like deer in headlights instead of like, oh my God.
Absolutely crazy.
Man.
I mean, it has sparked some of the best memes we've seen.
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
definitely.
I kept seeing, once that came out and I clicked on one video of it, because I heard on the radio, they were like, if you haven't heard the Coldplay thing, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, what happened at Gillette last night? And so I looked it up, and then my news feed was like covered in all this stuff. And then I kept getting like videos of other people doing it, and it's like they would have a sign like, this is my wife, or this is my sister, or like the two mascots, I think it was in Philly, they like acted it out, which I thought was hysterical.
That
Like,
was a good. Yeah, that was funny.
it was too good. Anyway, and then there was like memes of The Office. I don't
Yeah.
know if I sent you any of those ones, but those cracked me up too. Oh my God, it was so funny. I feel kind of bad that we're laughing at their expense, but like Dave said, can you feel bad for stupidity?
It's hard to feel bad when someone is so blatantly doing something like that and then be so stupid about it to boot. Like, it's just like,
Oh
I
my God.
don't have any sympathy. It was needed comic relief for all the things that have been in the news lately. So
Yeah. Had some, if you were an 80s kid, we had a trio, I think, of pretty
Yeah.
tough losses. Two in particular. The first was Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Warner, yep.
Theo from the Cosby Show,
Yeah.
which if you were a kid in the 80s, I mean, you've at least seen the Cosby Show, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it was like the biggest show on television for a good, 4 or 5 years, I think.
I mean, I'm a 90s kid, and I saw episodes,
Yeah.
like reruns of that,
Yeah.
so.
and he was really good in Community, one of my favorite
Yes, he was.
TV shows.
Yeah.
He was very
He
good
was
in Community.
he was in The Resident, too. I liked him in that. He played like a
And he
super
was-
serious guy, but he was
Yeah.
really good.
I mean, he was young. He was what, like 53, 54, something like that?
Yeah, 54, I think.
Yeah, it would have been 55 this.
Mid-50s.
He would have been 55 this month.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Sad.
so that one was disappointing to me. The one that really, really got me was Ozzy.
Yeah.
So this actually hit me a lot more than I expected it to, because I love metal. The guy was part of a band that basically invented a genre of music that I'm in love with. I've never been a huge Ozzy fanatic. I've always appreciated him. No Rest for the Wicked is one of my favorite metal albums. Little fun fact, that's how I taught Shelly how to headbang on Crazy Babies. I don't know if you remember that.
I
Yeah.
do remember that.
You liked the chorus, the Crazy Babies chorus. That particular album I've always loved. I never watched the Osbournes, you know what I mean? Like when that was on TV, I was lucky enough to go to Ozfest and Donington Park.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, again, same thing. If you were growing up in the 80s, he was like this mythical figure. Like, I mean, I remember even Auntie telling me like, oh, he bit the head off a bat, and he's like, you know what I mean? Like, which he really did on stage.
Yeah.
And then he also bit the head off a dove in front of a bunch of record executives. Yeah. But he just had this like
Did you hear
mystique
the
to
rumor?
him.
There was a rumor too that he when he was super into coke, he snorted a line of ants. Did you ever hear that story?
Oh, I
I've
did
heard
hear
that.
that one.
I don't know if that's actually true or not. He did, in fact, pee on the Alamo. He was banned. He was banned from visiting the Alamo for 10 years. So yeah, it was just like a fixture of the music scene.
Yeah. I
It's
love
just
that he got
gone.
to do the, basically his goodbye tour, like that concert. That could not have been more perfectly timed for him to be able to do that. Because I don't think this was expected this soon, from what I have heard. His
Well,
death.
he had Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And they did report that for this final show or this final tour, he had stopped taking like all of his medications
Yes.
because he wanted to be able to be like mentally with it and aware
Yes.
to be able to perform.
Yeah.
I kind of
heard
wonder
that
if he had some kind of subconscious knowledge that the end
He
was
knew it was
Maybe.
coming.
close.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
The concert we went to last night was the Struts, and the guitarist, when they came out for the encore, had put on a jersey and it had Ozzy on the back, and he came out and like the whole crowd cheered, and It is. It's he was a icon for sure. I mean, yeah, it was sad. I couldn't believe it when I heard that. And then the
Yeah.
other one I thought of you guys was Hulk Hogan. He was the
Yeah.
other one.
That was another
All
major
in one
icon.
week.
All in 1 week. And regardless of what the guy was like personally, you know, there's like a lot of stories going around that he wasn't necessarily like the nicest of people. Regardless of that, he really was another actual icon. Like, I think about a lot of these people that are starting to pass away. We don't have anybody that's the equivalent in this day and age. You know what I mean? Like we don't have superstars that are on the level of like Hulk Hogan, Ozzy, Madonna, who's still alive. But you know what I mean? Like these people were like larger than life, and
Taylor,
now
I think Taylor Swift will be the closest
I
to
was
it.
just gonna.
But
That
it's
me
really,
too. That's who I
think
just thought of.
I think Taylor's probably gonna be the last of that with the way media is now and
Yeah.
how things get popular and go viral and then they're done within 15 minutes. It's like I think once Taylor, like, I mean, she's got a life ahead of her, but I think she's the last of like the super worldwide superstars like that. Because there's no one like
Yeah,
still
I'm
kicking
trying to
around
think
like
of
Ozzy
even-
or
yeah.
I mean The Rock maybe as far as Hulk Hogan, but even that, maybe like 10, 15 years ago you could have said he was comparable, but now not.
no.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like someone as iconic as Hulk Hogan, I can't think of anyone this day and age that will end up being as. But who knows? I mean, who knows what history will say about this current moment of time about who's iconic.
I don't think, as far as pop culture goes, I think this will be a historical dead zone. I don't think we're going to take anything from entertainment over the last 10 years to now. I don't think it's going to be remembered. I feel bad for today's youth because they don't have really quality people and movies and music to like latch onto. It's all a bunch of crap.
I know, I was
and it's
just
only going
gonna
to
ask-
continue.
I mean,
Like,
AI
we
is
had-
only going to make it worse. But
Yeah. Like, do the boys like have any like I don't know, role models in that field, like in the celebrity,
all the people,
like, that they look
all the
up
people
to?
all the people they look up to are like YouTubers.
yeah.
Oh yeah, see.
You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
so, like they, like Landon loves Curtis Connor. That's like his favorite YouTuber. Mason and Hunter watch a bunch of different ones, but they all, I mean, Hunter likes Mr. Ballin, who just tells stories on YouTube. That's one of his favorite YouTube
Oh,
channels.
okay. Yeah.
So he's a little older. He's actually originally from Quincy, I think, around here, and now he's like one of the biggest podcasters in the country telling stories.
Wow.
But
Yeah, so that just
He,
proves Dave's point.
yeah,
that
they
the
just
youth
they're
doesn't
into
have anyone.
it's YouTubers. They like all the
Yeah.
all the kids. They either YouTubers or TikTokers. That's what they're all into now. And every kid thinks they're going to be a social media star.
Yeah.
So the entertainment world that we grew up with into adulthood is just going to drastically change. Which I guess is kind of like unless you guys want to talk any more about this.
No, go whatever.
But I've been kind of.
Oh.
Go ahead, David.
I was just going to ask Dana. I think you were the big wrestling fan. I was just
Huge.
wondering what
Well
you
into my
thought about.
teens, I was a huge.
Yeah.
I was.
You know,
It
what'd
was
you
very.
think of the Hulk? How did the Hulksters passing, affect you?
It was sad. I mean, I think it's kind of different. It's weird, right? I get sad when people I grew up watching and stuff like that pass now. But now, having lost my best friend Sarah, and then the very next year losing Mom, I don't treat celebrity deaths the way I used to. I used to get devastated when like someone I was like crazy followed, like crazy about and followed. I used to get devastated by it. I don't really get devastated by celebrity deaths anymore. So the effect it has on me, having now lost people that are actually close to me, I look at it a little differently. I feel bad for the families. Like, I feel bad for that chapter of my life that is now like never coming back because that person's gone. But at the same time, it doesn't affect me the way a family member would or something like that, or a very close friend. So
Yeah.
I
I've
haven't
never
dwelled
been-
on it. I mean, when the day it happened, I was a little down about it and kind of like, thinking about my childhood and my little Hulk Hogan wrestling doll and stuff like that. But it wasn't. Yeah, it just doesn't affect me. Doesn't affect me the way celebrity does used to.
I've never been one to like cry over a celebrity. I mean, there are people. I remember when Kurt Cobain died, people like sobbed when he passed.
Kurt Loder was like bawling his eyes out on MTV.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I don't, and I'm not like I don't know them personally, and same with you. Like I feel bad, I feel sad for the family, I have compassion, and it's like, especially when it's a young person, I'm like, oh, such a shame. Like I can't believe it. They had such a life ahead
think
of
the
them, but
last-
I've never cried over a celebrity.
So-
I think the last
Yeah.
celebrity I actually cried over or had shed a tear over was Dolores Riordan from the Cranberries, because I loved the Cranberries.
Oh.
And when she died, I was very affected by that because I just love their music so much. So that was probably the last one I was actually emotional about.
Well, I think that's really, speaking as somebody who loves music, I've never been one to get totally broken up over celebrities in general when they pass, but when it's a musician, particularly if it's, because I love music so much, there have been musicians that have passed away whose music actually had a like profound effect like on my life. So even though I don't know them personally, it's like you get a window into somebody, so those ones, because I mean, Dimebag Darrell from Pantera, Lane Staley from Alice in Chains was one that really, really, and I've like friends at the time have always made fun of me for being bummed, but it's like when you really connect with the music, that person's gone. You're not going to get any more of that. And that's actually a major loss,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's just my perspective on it.
Yeah. Well, I should say I was pretty sad when Chrissy McVie died too from Fleetwood Mac, because I love Fleetwood Mac. She died last year, so I was upset about that too. But yeah, I can't think of anyone. I don't even want to talk about Chris from Dashboard. I'll probably be affected by that because Dashboard Confessional was such a big part of my life.
Yeah.
But
I know,
Well, it's like I'm not a Linkin Park fan, but I know a lot of people when Chester Bennington died
yeah.
were like
Yeah.
really like a lot of
Yeah, Chris
millennials were
Cornell,
like
same
re-
thing.
yeah,
Chris
Chris Cornell was
Cornell, yeah.
a hard
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just yeah. I mean, it's sad. It's sad when those people and those iconic but now it's like people aren't as iconic as they used to be.
No.
But when those icons of our culture, pass on, it's sad.
Yeah.
But I think talking about it right now with you guys is the saddest I've been about Hulk Hogan. I wasn't really like that
way
sad
to
about
go,
it.
Dave.
And now you guys are kind of making me sad.
You had to ask him how he felt.
my job is done.
Yeah.
Because now I'm just thinking about I'll never see him like rip off his shirt again at WrestleMania or anything like that. Make one of his WWE special appearances. Not that I watch wrestling, but every now and then I pop in to check and see what's going on with it. Because
Yeah.
I know I'm kind of in a way a lifelong wrestling fan because I do always every now and then pop back in and check. I mean, basically, my kid is named after one of the wrestlers because we named Hunter after Triple H.
Triple H.
We
Yeah.
were watching wrestling. Triple H was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and I looked at Caitlin and said, "What about Hunter?"
And now that's a super popular name. You see it a lot, Hunter.
Yeah,
you
well,
do.
we were the original.
Yeah.
It is funny. It is funny that we thought we were so clever with all our kids' names, and
Oh,
then all of
yeah.
a sudden, like their names are everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And you know that to be because I've been able to find their name on
Yeah.
things like souvenirs. When I go away, I'm always like,
On
when
Coke
they were,
bottles.
when they were when they were first born, I was like, oh, I can't find this name anywhere. And then now now you can find all of those names. I have an update on a previous hot take, Okay.
Now I'm curious.
Okay. This just happened this week. I made like burrito bowls, like rice, ground chicken. I made my own pico de gallo, cheese, the whole thing. And I ate it with a spoon. And it was a game changer. I have been I know, I am so sorry because on the day that we
Traitor.
The day that we talked about the hot take, I was fork versus spoon. I was a fork person. Like, to me, spoons were for like ice cream, pudding / yogurt, soup. That was it. Like, I didn't need spoons for anything else. But I could not believe how much easier it was to eat.
All right, now that that's good.
Oh my god! I've been disowned. Yeah, I gotta tell you, people, if you're eating a bowl with rice, I would try it with a spoon. It'll change your life. And you know what's funny is Mike has been doing this for a while, and I thought he was nuts. And then I was talking to a girl at work about it because I was on a call, and I said, do you mind if I eat my lunch while we do this meeting? And she's like, no, no, no. And so I was starting to eat it with a spoon, and I was like, oh my God, have you ever eaten a burrito bowl with a spoon? She's like, oh my God. She's like, it's a game changer. She goes, my husband was doing it forever, and I thought he was nuts. And I'm like, oh my God, me too. And so, yeah, I think the spoon thing is more popular than I thought. So, Dave, I am now siding with you on the spoon thing.
Good luck eating steak with a spoon.
I'm just saying.
I did eat a steak with a spoon
Did you?
just to prove that it could be done.
And you are miserable with every bite.
No. It was
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Anyway, that's my update on a previous hot take. I was like kind of like scared to tell you guys because I was like, Dana is going to have a fit about this. But go spoons.
Anyway. I mean, I knew I was right from the beginning, so I don't need this validation. We can talk about something else.
All right, well then go ahead.
Dana, you had something you were going to talk about before I
I was
asked
just
you
going
about.
to talk about. I was talking, yeah, because we were talking about like changing culture and how entertainment's going to change. I was curious about your thoughts about AI because I've been messing around with it the past couple of weeks, messing around with ChatGPT, seeing some of the things it can and can't do yet. I'm curious about what your thoughts are about using AI in everyday life and integrating it.
I don't love it. I really don't want it to be around. I find it annoying. I understand it can be useful. But like, every time you put something in, like I thought about doing it at work so that we could record meetings, but a lot of those keep the recordings and it will say, don't talk about sensitive information. I'm like, well, that's out the window. Like, cause that's always going to be reported. I mean, like anything we do on our phone, it's recorded somewhere. So, I don't love it. I don't love it.
How about you, Dave?
80s kid grew up on the Terminator. It's going to destroy us. It's only a matter of time. No, honestly, it kind of drives me nuts. Like you see, like, speaking seriously, there are legitimate concerns about AI and about its behavior and whether it can actually be controlled, right? And yet here we are, still plugging away at it, trying to make it happen. Like I think it's going to make society worse. I think it's going to ruin a lot of lives because now you can just put together an AI video. Most people will just see something that's been computer generated and they'll just assume it's legit. I think that's a problem.
Yeah, I think scammers in particular are going to love using AI.
Well,
they
already
already
do use AI.
Yeah.
It's at the point now where you can kind of, I mean, right now people are smart enough to figure out when it's like a scammer or whatever. Because they'll get like a thing from a number and it's saying it's this X person, I need money, I'm like in the police station or whatever. That usually most people will know, oh, I'll call my daughter that's supposedly in the police station. I'll call her directly and find out if it's true. And then, the daughter's like, what the hell are you talking about? I have mixed emotions about it because I feel like we're past the point of no return now, which is kind of why I've been messing around with it, talking to ChatGPT, having to do some tasks for me and see what it can and can't do. Actually had to generate some ideas for new YouTube videos for me. I had one idea that I thought was a completely original that I came up with where I said, I'm just going to, for 24 hours, I'm going to have the AI just have my whole day planned out for me and tell me exactly what I have to do at every hour of the day. I have to do what AI tells me to do. to see how I could plan my day for work and family time and food and stuff like that. I thought I was being all original, and then I look on YouTube and there's like a bunch of different videos about the same thing. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna scrap that idea. But yeah, I've been trying to see how I can integrate it into my life, just because I want to be ahead of the curve when everyone else is like in denial about where it's headed. And that's what I feel like is the problem right now, is people are in denial about how fast it's advancing and how it's gonna be everywhere. So
it's everywhere.
and it's one of those
Already
adjustments.
everywhere.
It's one of those adjustments where we're gonna have to learn how to live with it. And going to what Dave said about like it getting out of control, like the problem is we never put control on the people that are developing it, right? And a lot of those people they just from the interviews I've watched from a lot of these AI creators, they don't care about humanity at all. They're almost subhuman. They don't care. So they have no reins on them, and they're just doing whatever they want to do with it and trying to get it developed and as smart and as fast as possible. I was just reading the other day that Zuckerberg is trying to completely eliminate Apple. He wants to create his own AI that people can integrate into themselves that will completely eliminate the need for a phone. And they'll just do everything through Meta in the metaverse. They won't need the Apple iPhone anymore and stuff like that. So I don't know. I feel like this stuff isn't going away. I don't like it either. Unfortunately, it's a reality of life. And I think if we reject some of it, we're not going to, the people that don't adjust are going to have their lives ruined, basically. And you might adjust and still have your life ruined. That's the problem.
Yeah, I feel, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but I feel more than ever now like not wanting to be on my phone scrolling through social. Like I've been going to the library to get books because I hate that I was spending, a half hour before bed scrolling through it's endless. You could scroll literally forever and there would be something. Do you think people are getting fatigued at all? Like I'm feeling the social media fatigue more than I ever have. And I know, Dave, you're not really on social. Like you've kind of been distant from social anyway, so you were probably feeling that fatigue a while ago. But I just wonder
I've been fatigued for a long time.
He's been visited enough by social media.
I just wonder if you guys sense that, like even amongst my friends, it's the same. Like we're
Well,
all
it's
in
an
the same
it's an
boat.
interesting point you make, because I only go on social media like a couple times a day at most anyway, and I don't really post that often. I've been so kind of like, I am kind of over like the technology, and a part of me yearns for the more simpler times and stuff. But I've been finding myself even like in entertainment wise, revisiting like shows that like period pieces and stuff like that. Like me and Caitlin just started, like we watched, I told you our last binge watch was Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Now we're binging The Gilded Age on HBO. So
Yeah.
and I never was really into that type of stuff, like period pieces and stuff like that. But I find myself so overwhelmed by technology. I just need a break and to visit a different time.
Yeah, I
when
mean,
that stuff didn't matter.
Yeah, even like old like Dawson's Creek episodes, like they didn't have like a phone that they could Google things. Like they had a pager. Like, and I'm like, oh, remember when we like weren't accessible all the time? Like every time my phone goes off, I'm like, what is that? What is that? Like, or my watch. It's just so distracting. So it's nice to like read before bed and like read on my lunch. And not to say that I still post. I'm not saying I'm anti-social media at all. I still post in my stories. I still scroll. I'll still watch stuff on my phone. Like I'm watching a TV series off Amazon right now. So I'll watch that. I'm not saying that phones are a terrible, terrible thing, but I just find myself wanting to step away a little bit more than I was before.
As far as social media goes, I've always been a little bit distant from it. I do actually scroll because there are a lot of memes and stuff that I like, obviously we talked about the Coldplay meme. I was scrolling through those because there's so many different ones. What makes me stay away from social media, and what kind of the larger picture of why I don't like technology, is I liked people more when I didn't know every single thing that they thought about every subject under the sun. And I stay away from Facebook specifically not because of like AI or the kind of crap that you can doom scroll through, but like the posting that a lot of people I know, the posts that they make, which just kind of drives me nuts. Like I've got There's somebody online that I'm acquainted with that posted right after the election that they had cut out everybody from their life in real life and on social media that voted for the Donald.
Mm-hmm.
But since that time, every news item this person is reposting and saying, is this what you all voted for? Is this what you wanted? Are you happy? And I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, by your own admission, you said you don't,
Right. Yeah.
you don't actually like communicate with anybody that you disagree with politically. So who are you addressing this to right now? And it's that kind of attitude that I'm like, no one cares about my opinion. No one cares about your opinion. It ultimately is just screaming into a void, and it's a waste of time.
So
and
why are
people
we doing
think
this show?
I do it because I get to hang out with my brother and sister.
Yeah. And I actually do care what you guys think on things.
I care what you guys.
I want some of your thoughts on things.
I care what you guys think. I care what my family thinks. But David is right in the ultimate scheme of everything. Like whatever you post on social media, I'm not saying this about me or you or
Right.
Caitlin or the boys. Generally speaking, whatever you post, you might think all your friends and quote unquote friends, because nobody knows that many people really.
Yeah.
They don't care. They really don't.
They don't.
They just
They're
don't.
scrolling through, because I do the same thing when I'm on an Insta story. I look through and I'm like, oh, cool. But I don't care. It's not any like they do the same. We just are all scrolling and swiping and scrolling.
And everyone's
you know
in
what
their
I
own,
mean?
they're all in their own personal world, and people are like, I have a general feeling now that people are pretty selfish. I think there's no better place you can see that than watching people drive. I think people's real personalities come out when they're driving. You see it. I can tell a lot about a person by how they drive, and because it's the way you drive, or if you're aggressive, road rage easy, like you really don't think highly of other people. You are more of like a selfish person. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and I think social media has kind of accelerated that with everybody. That feeling of always wanting to be on top of everybody else, always trying to be ahead of, keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak, always trying to one up your quote unquote friends and show how great your life is, and it's all fake, mostly fake,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and most what you see on Insta or Facebook is not real. Like, people aren't gonna share their struggles. They say they share their struggles so that if anyone else is struggling, and I'm not to say that some people don't do that, but most of the time people only post the good, happy, fun stuff, right? Like,
yeah. But there is that certain segment of people that only post their struggles.
that's
well,
true.
yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. I have found oh, sorry, go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to say, it all comes down to give me attention. Is really whether you're posting just the good stuff or you're posting the negative stuff. It comes down to give me that attention is really why people do it. Why all of us do it, right? Like if we post anything on social media, we're doing it because we want some kind of reaction.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are looking for validation. And, I actually don't think there's a problem with looking for validation in some things. I think sometimes you might need that boost for you personally to get that validation from people, especially people that you like or care about. I think searching for that validation all the time could be problematic, like with literally everything you do. But I think sometimes I might post stuff because I'm looking for validation, But even like today, I was gonna make a post today for the first time in a while, and I opted out of it because I didn't want to. Like, it's not something. I was like, why am I gonna post this? If it's something personal that I want to do, I know I was gonna post it because I really needed help with it, but I was like, people don't care that much about it. People didn't care that much. I'll tell you guys, I was gonna read. I've gotten through 42 paintings of Bob Ross's paintings, and I have 339 to go. So I was gonna post. I've been thinking about finishing the project.
Yeah.
The problem is it would require, just getting through those first 42 required a lot of me financially to buy the paint.
Yeah, and the
supplies. I need new brushes after 42 plus paintings. All my brushes are all like trashed. I need canvases. With inflation and the way the economy's gone, everything is like way more expensive than it was before. So I definitely would need help financially now to do it. And so I was going to make a post that was really important to me, that I really wanted to do it. And not ask people for money, but ask if I started, what would people's interest level be if I started like a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe to help with the project, because it's not for profit. Ultimately, what I wanted to do with it was start a scholarship fund for my best friend Sarah, who passed in 2020. That was always the goal from the time I started the project, and because I would sell the paintings not for profit but for the scholarship fund. So I was gonna post and then I was like, people, there was some interest in it, especially I got interviewed by the newspaper when I was doing it.
I remember that. Yeah.
There was some interest in it. There was some people that were looking to buy some of the paintings early on. I didn't really feel like comfortable selling them at that point because I wasn't quite sure the direction I was going with the project. And then mom died, and then I just kind of stopped the project altogether because it's just everything going on. Ran out of money, and I mean, we're talking like it would probably cost, I don't even know what it would cost, a couple $1,000s probably just to finish all those paintings and supplies and paint and stuff like that. So I was like, I don't want it to seem like I'm begging people on Facebook for money, because that's not what it would be about. And I didn't, even though there was some interest in it when I was doing it, I didn't think there was that much interest that it would generate enough for me to be able to move forward with it and go and buy all that stuff. So I'm probably going to eventually continue doing the paintings just on my own dollar when I have the time and the money to do it.
Yeah, something for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that was ultimately what I landed on. I was like, I'm not going to bother posting it, because it does kind of feel like just looking for attention.
Yeah, see, I post stuff on my stories because it's only there for 24 hours, so I feel like if I don't put it up permanently, it's not as like a full post. It's just in my head that it's like that. But after 24 hours, your story goes away, so that's where I'll post stuff. That way I'm not inundating people's
It's still
feed.
in the
And if they
it's
want
still
to
in
look...
still in your metadata somewhere.
Yeah, but I
locked
mean,
away
like, if
in a
people
server.
want to look at my story to see what I'm up to, they can. It's not, I'm not forcing them to look at like a post that I've made or like, pictures of Cannoli over and over and over. Sometimes I do, because Cannoli is adorable and everyone needs to look at him. But, but yeah, I do a lot of stories for that same reason, because I'm like, check me out if you want. If you don't, that's cool. Just swipe to the next story. It's all good. But yeah, it's been nice reading. That was my point. Is it's been nice disconnecting at night and just reading before bed. I've been missing out on the reading thing. The library, man, it's like magical. I told the lady that when I went last week. I'm like, I don't know why I didn't come here. I said I've been going to Target to buy books, and then, my husband told me, why don't you just go to the library? And I'm like, I forgot all about this magical place, and she started laughing.
Well,
Silly
with
fucker.
every other cut that the federal government is doing, enjoy your libraries while you can, because who
Yeah.
knows what's going to happen with that.
I know. We have a nice one, too. It's a nice library. Anyway. What else do you guys want to talk about? Anything else? You guys want to talk about your vacations at all? Your trips?
Yeah, sure. I'm curious how Vietnam went for Dave, because we didn't really hear that much about it.
Yeah, how was your trip?
Yeah, it was a good trip. So Hawaii took the kids down. She drove down to Da Nang. So we basically did like a week-long vacation in Da Nang. It's like an 8-hour drive for her.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's only like 270 miles from her city, so it would really be like a 5 or 6 hour drive in the US. But in Vietnam, even on their main roads, they don't drive much faster than like 35, 40. Yeah. So
Oh, wow.
it's
Sounds
a
like
longer
heaven.
trip. And they don't have a
Sounds like
highway.
hell.
They have like main roads, but not a highway system per se like we have. You know what I mean? So Da Nang, I can understand. It's like the new, I think, up and coming place for expats. This was my third, fourth trip out there. Most English I've ever heard spoken in my entire life on my trips over there. I was a little. The beach was beautiful. The water was nice and warm. I found the people to not be as friendly. And I think it's because there were a ton of Westerners there. I really do think that's what, like, the vibe was totally different than like Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City or Vinh, where Hawaii lives. The people were more like impatient. It felt like there's like more this vibe of like, go, 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 which is very different than other places in the country. So, but it was a good trip overall,
Yeah, and travel was okay?
Yeah, travel was fine. Coming back was a odyssey because I left my flight. So Hwai dropped me off at the airport in Da Nang at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday because she had just had laser eye surgery, so she didn't want to drive at night. So she got an early start. So I got to the airport at 9:30 a.m., but my flight didn't leave until 11 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I hung out at the airport and then flew to Korea. Landed in Korea at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. And my flight from Korea didn't leave until 7:30 p.m.
Oh my God,
So,
David.
36 hours, over 36 hours.
Fortunately, I was able to grab, like, they have airports, I think I've mentioned this in Southeast Asia, are
Sleep
way
pods?
nicer. They have sleep pods. They had shower. I spent like $5 to just like, I got 30 minutes to take a shower and
Oh,
like freshen
nice.
up and all that stuff. So that was good. I felt more human.
Mm.
And then our flight left at 8 p.m. on Monday night, and we landed in Seattle at 1:30 p.m. on Monday afternoon.
Oh my God. That's awful.
Happy to report, because I only had an hour to get to my flight, which I was thankful for, because I hate SeaTac. I hate that airport so much. I hate having a long layover there. They need to update it really badly. But yeah, I made it through immigration without any trouble.
Oh, good.
Twice in a row now. So
Good.
that's good. Yeah.
Maybe they put a note now next to your like passport number, like not
Maybe.
the murderer.
Yeah.
Let him through.
Not the droid we're looking for.
No, man, I think David was just pulling his CIA strings to get through, no problem.
Oh yeah, that connection, that government connection. Good.
No
Well, good.
comment.
Good. Spoken like a true government agency employee. Indeed. I know you posted your little vlog.
I did
from
post
the-
I posted
yeah.
the first day that we went to Virginia, but we were kind of just like in the moment.
Yeah,
The trip,
that's great.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't.
The boys
even
told me
bother-
they had a lot of fun
Yeah,
when they came for the sleepover.
it was a good time. I mean, so shockingly enough, so it took us about 11 hours or so to get down. Maybe 12 hours total, because we left at 4 a.m. We left almost exactly at 4 a.m. And we checked in the hotel at almost exactly 4 p.m. So it took us
Nice.
total of 11 hours, and that was with 3 stops. We stopped for breakfast, then we stopped for gas and bathroom about a couple hours later. Then we stopped.
Yeah.
We made one final lunch stop, but we had like a little picnic at the rest area.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And then we got there, and we were kind of dodging a tropical storm.
Yeah.
It was like a hurricane that turned into a tropical storm, and we lucked out that it kind of had dissipated by the time I got to Virginia. Still brought some rain, and we did Busch Gardens the first day. Unfortunately, because of the tropical storm, they did shut down like half the park, so a lot of the rides weren't operational. And then some of the rides that were operational in the second part of the day, they shut down, quote unquote, for weather, even though the sun was out, and then it never rained again.
Weird. Was
Yeah.
the park not as full though because it was
Oh
only
yeah,
half,
that was the
so
good
that
thing. We
must
got
have
there.
been nice.
So we got
That's
there. It was
awesome.
kind of drizzly and stuff like that. We got there. There was like almost nobody there. So the first like 5 or 6 rides we all went on, it was like no lines. Then as the day
Nice.
went on and the sun came out, that's when people started coming.
Yeah.
And then the next day we went to Water Country USA, which is a water park, a bunch of
Yeah.
water slides. That day it was like 95. The humidity was really high, sunny the whole day.
Perfect day
It
for
was-
a water park.
Except it was packed.
Yeah.
So now we're waiting in every line for like 45 minutes to an hour to go on a water slide. So you're sitting there baking in the sun. And then by the time you get to the slide, a lot of the slide, the water was warm because it was so
yeah,
hot
because
out.
it's just sitting. Yeah.
So like we were like at the end of the day, we were like, yeah, a lot of the slides were fun. But it was not as great of a day because just all the waiting and all the heat. And then the water wasn't as cooling and refreshing as we were hoping it was going to be.
Did they have the lazy river?
They had 2. They had one bigger one that
the
moved.
best.
That moves
Oh yeah,
pretty
and then
fast.
the wave pool, right? Then they
Then the
have
wave pool. Yeah, we had the wave pool. They had 2
'Cause that
lazy
you don't
rivers.
really have to wait. You can just kind of hang and swim. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was it was a good trip. And then we came back, and then the only time the kids complained really was on the way back when we got through, because New Jersey we hit a bunch of traffic on the way back,
Yeah.
and then we got into New York, and then into Connecticut, and Connecticut was like
Horrible.
the longest it's ever taken me to drive through Connecticut.
Worst traffic is
It's
Connecticut.
never taken me that long to drive through
Ugh.
Connecticut.
Horrible.
But it took us almost 4 hours to get from the border of New York to the border of Rhode Island, which has never taken me that long.
Horrible.
And that was the
What
only
is that?
period where the kids complained.
Is that near Bridgeport?
Yes.
Yeah, you go through Bridgeport
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's
brutal.
where I've always hit like the worst traffic.
Never.
The
I've
trips
gone.
I've made.
Now, I've done this road
Horrible.
trip to Virginia, Myrtle Beach a bunch of times. I've never hit traffic that bad in Connecticut. I guess, no, I've definitely gone through at quote unquote rush hour sometimes, but it was the worst I've ever seen it. I mean,
It's
I've seen traffic
also-
there. I've never seen it as bad as it was now.
It's also too like after a trip, getting home, the ride home just seems you just can't wait to get home. So everything is like, oh my god, traffic. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that like
yeah, I
so
think 'cause you
that
feel like-
that's part of it too. Is like I just want to get home. Like we've
Like, all the
had
fun
our
stuff
fun.
is over,
Yes,
yeah.
like I just want to get home. I want to sleep in
Yeah.
my own bed. I want to take a shower. Like I know that's a big part of like any road trip is just like, oh my god, get me home.
But the kids they did good.
Yeah, they said they had
Three
fun.
teenage boys driving in the car for 12 hours each way. They did good. So hopefully they're good next year, because me and Caitlin are talking about doing Myrtle Beach, which would
Oh,
be an
nice.
extra 6 hours of driving on top of that.
Yeah,
we'll
they
see.
said they had a good time.
We'll see. So that was our trip.
Nice.
And then we got some concerts we all did.
Yeah,
I
well,
took Caitlin to see Mark Martel.
Yeah.
After our anniversary, I got her tickets to Mark Martel for our anniversary, which was, he does Queen songs and stuff, which Caitlin is a huge Queen fan. And hold on.
Yeah, it's funny. You guys had really busy Julys and I have a busier August. We have something every weekend, like multiple things happening within those weekends. My August is going to be insane.
So just, I'm going to promote Mark Martel here. His show was absolutely amazing. He has a voice. He's the closest person I've ever heard sound like Freddie Mercury. His voice is just naturally like I've seen Queen tribute bands and stuff like that, and they try to be Freddie Mercury and they don't sound that great. And the music's okay, but it's kind of cheesy and lame. He's not trying to be Freddie Mercury. He's just a guy that happens to have a voice that sounds like his, that can sing his songs very close. And the band is not trying to be Queen. They're in like regular, like one of the guys was wearing like a Queen shirt, but another guy was like wearing like an Aussie shirt. He did like an Aussie tribute halfway through the show.
Oh, nice.
They're just a bunch of guys that play Queen's music basically.
That's
And yeah, it was incredible. Like I looked over at Caitlin a few times and she was like tearing up.
Yeah, she
So-
told
and
me,
Caitlin
she's
is
like, I was like crying.
anyone that knows my wife Caitlin, she's like the biggest Queen fan in the world, and she's super judgmental of people that sing Queen songs. Like she hates it, absolutely hates people singing Queen songs, and she absolutely loved this show.
That is her irrational hatred.
So yeah. So if my wife thought this show was amazing, you know it was a good show. Because she is super critical of people that do Queen.
So good.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the name of his show is One Vision of Queen.
Okay. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah.
How were the Struts last night?
Oh, so good. I love them. They just put on such an amazing show. They're just the best. And they're doing their 10th anniversary tour of their debut album. So they played the whole album from start to finish, and then a couple of their other hits in there. But yeah, we're going again in a week and a half to see them at Hampton Beach. Is it Hampton Beach? And
yep.
where you're
That's
seeing
where I'm going to
Extreme.
see
Yeah.
Extreme.
Yeah. So we're going to that in a couple weeks. We have Nate Bargatze next week. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming up this month, but really July for us was like house stuff. We did some yard work, got rid of some sheds, had a dumpster, got rid of like a bunch of stuff, which was great. So, and then just work, like really busy at work. So, yeah. All the fun stuff for me will be happening in July. I mean, August. July is over.
Yeah, Dave's got an August show coming up.
Yes, I do.
Yes, we're gonna see you in person.
Yes. I still haven't figured out accommodations. So when I arrive on the 28th, it's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Shelly, can I just get dropped off and crash with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
The
that's fine.
28th
Do
is a
whatever.
Thursday.
Sorry, the 27th is when I fly in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So my flight lands in Boston at like 4:30 p.m. So I'll probably get there at like 6:30.
Are you getting a ride to my house?
Yes.
Oh, you already have a ride figured
Yeah,
out?
I'll get a ride. Yeah, I'll get a ride from your house. I was gonna ask Dana if he would take me to the airport on Saturday because he's always up at like 3 a.m. and my flight leaves at 6. So
Very true. I am usually up that early.
yeah. So
If you want,
Yeah.
I can drive you to Weymouth if that's easier, Dana. That way, because you're closer to the city than I am.
Yeah, however you want to do it.
We can figure it out. The world doesn't need to know our travel plans, our travel arrangements. Yeah, and then we can talk about what we're gonna do on the 29th because I gotta get that invite out if we're gonna do like people over that Friday to see you.
well,
So
yeah, I
Extreme's the
talked to Aunt-
28th.
The Extreme is Thursday the 28th. I talked to Auntie earlier this week. Sounds like she plans on visiting on the
Yes.
29th.
Yes, because I told everyone you're gonna be here, so I said keep that date open because we'll be doing something. I just don't know what you want to do if
Yeah.
you want to.
Hunter had texted and said that he planned on, seeing me. So
Oh, that's cute.
Well, it wasn't like unprompted. He was thanking me for the birthday card, and he's like, "Oh, can't wait to see you when you get here, at the end of August." So I was like, "Me too."
That's adorable.
Yeah.
So cute.
So
So cute.
yeah, just a whirlwind visit.
I know you'll be here for like 5 seconds. If I blink, I'm gonna miss you.
Yeah, the way it should be. No, I'm kidding.
Dave's idea of a perfect trip: don't see anyone for more than 30 seconds.
I know. Come in, get a hug, get out.
Get out. I've been visited enough.
Oh, too good. Dave, what are we talking about next week?
So we're going to advise the internet again, but not Reddit this time. I have come across a couple really interesting Dear Abby questions, and I figured, you know what, these might be good to talk about. Some of them, strangely enough, I'm like, is this a real letter? But yeah,
I love
So-
Isn't
when
it
we
funny?
advise the internet, and everyone tells me those are their favorite episodes too.
Isn't
We
it
might
funny
have
that
to-
like we ask if these Reddit stories are real, and then when you think about it, you think about those Dear Abby letters, and you're like, are those real? So it's a question that's been asked since the beginning of time.
Yeah. I keep seeing stuff come up on my Facebook. I actually copied one today, like saved it in case I ever, we ever do another one that I have to pick the stories.
So
And even reading that, I'm like, there's no way this is real. This is just like rage bait. There's no way this story is real.
do you just get random Reddit in
All
my
the time.
a-hole things on now all the time?
All the
so
time.
it's like it knows that we use
All
them, and it
the
keeps feeding
time.
them to us.
All
I
of
get them.
the
I get
time.
them suggested to me all the time.
Yep. And I have not once looked. I'm not on Reddit. So anytime you guys have sent me stories, it's because you screenshot or you copy and paste the
Yeah.
story to a document. I have never even been on a Reddit. Am I the a-hole? I had Reddit at one time, but I deleted the app because I don't understand it. I just don't get Reddit. So I took it off my phone. It was just taking up space. But ever since we started the podcast, I do get all over my Facebook, like every other post. And of course I read them, and then it's like full article and the first comment, and then I move on, or because then I don't click on those things. But.
I think moving forward, we should just always advise the internet.
Oh, it's the
I mean-
best. I love it. It's my favorite thing.
The only problem
I'm
is there
all
are
for that.
podcasts. There are podcasts that already do that. I mean, they don't call
Yeah,
it
but-
advising the internet, but they just that's pretty much their show.
Yeah,
mean,
I've seen
that's-
a couple do that, but
But a lot of people, a lot of podcasts have the same format and stuff. So what's it matter?
Of course, a lot of them don't have licensed therapists on the show to actually
true.
have
That's
good
true.
therapeutic advice.
yes, that is very true. We have a professional.
A professional
we have-
cynic.
We actually have professionals in all different areas on this show. People, you
do.
should listen to us We're smart. We're wicked smart.
All right. Good night,
We
everybody.
give the best advice, the greatest advice. People tell me all the time they love this show. All those other podcasts, they're losers.
We don't hate on other people's podcasts, Dana. Not nice. Play nice in the sandbox.
Yes.
So we have
Yeah.
to think of I have to think of a title for that show.
Well, we're still advising the internet, right?
Yeah, but we have
We're-
a gazillion. We have a gazillion advise the internet titles. We need a new one.
We're
I think
advising
of-
Abby.
That's something that ChatGPT can help me with as a new title for one of those episodes. Oh, can we just talk about the thumbnails that ChatGPT sent me?
Oh my God. Can we not?
Yeah. Do we have to?
They're horrible. It's first of all, it's so obvious AI. Like that is so obvious, but it was so unflattering. I mean, it was it's horrible. If you share those with the world, I'll be so mad at you. They were horrible. Horrible.
We're going to put this thing to bed.
All right, everybody. We're going to
Dick
get
is
going.
back, everybody.
If you can't tell,
You
we
ready?
are in full swing here. My brother
ready?
is ready to be done.
You guys ready? You ready? You ready?
All right, everyone. So we're going to be back next week with episode 19, where David brings us some Dear Abby stories, I guess. And we hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.